Alrighty, we are live. Before we go live, I always get a little nervous to hit the live button because, it's the internet and there's usually several people watching. So welcome to the Tea Podcast. We have a great episode for you. It's going to be centered around a company called Shared Tables Box. They are a local company that have created a Cajun meal kit experience. So we're going to be talking with them about that, getting to know them and their company. Also, our brand new studio here. This is our second episode that we are doing this podcast in this studio, and so the studio is sponsored by, or powered by, I should say, powered by Optimize Generator People. They power your home with confidence during any outage. They are a Generac dealer. So if you are looking to get a whole home generator, that is your people. You can trust Optimize Generator People for reliable home standby Generac generators, solutions, and expert service. Control your power and control your life. Their website is on the screen here. I should have tapped the button. I got the logo in, but you can see it there. Their logo and their website is optimizeegs.com. Check them out. They're a great local sponsor. And with that, enjoy the episode. All right, and before we get started, I have my presenting sponsor. We got sponsors because we have bills to pay. Chase Group Construction, they take the lead and become your one point of contact for the entire design build process. So if you're looking to build a new business, from the ground up, or if you want to renovate, they are a design build firm. They build it all. They built several multi-unit shopping centers, medical centers, popular restaurants like Fat Pat's in Breaux Bridge and Broussard. Tons of local businesses that they built. They're a great local company. Their website is chasegroupconstruction.com. Check them out. Also, local people. That's who we like to deal with. And with that, let's get on with the episode today. I have, like I said, Shared Tables Box. We have Simone and Jeremy Markerson. Welcome to the Tea Podcast.
Yeah, right thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. So with that, go ahead and let's get to know you guys. So, are you guys originally from here?
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, both of y'all born and raised here.
I'm originally from Franklin.
Okay,
but
close enough.
Yeah, I moved to Lafayette when I was like 5.
Yeah. Okay. So this is your home.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, what are you guys? What were you guys doing before you started this business? Like, who were you guys before?
Well, we still are those people.
Okay.
We still have our full-time jobs as well. I work in the oil field. I work for an operator in the Gulf of Mexico.
All right.
Mechanical integrity.
Wait, so you do like X-ray stuff?
I do X-rays and NDE.
So non-destructive testing.
You're exactly right.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you know about that?
Yeah. Hey, I used to be a overhead crane technician apprentice in Lake Charles area. So I got familiar with some few things, and also being from the Turkey Creek area, I knew a lot of people that worked at Cameron Valve Company, and so with also working with the overhead crane industry, I had to go to Cameron a lot, and so we would see all of the welding equipment and the valves being made, and they'd have to go through X-rays to check the welds to make sure that there was no hairline cracks and this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool stuff. So
Yes.
there's no formal education. It's just boots on the ground type knowledge. But yeah, what about you, Jeremy? What were you doing?
I own and operate a drywall finishing business in construction last 30 years.
Okay.
28 years. So it's just grueling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's not fun.
Yeah, you're looking for your path out.
Well, yeah, more likely, yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah, obviously, we all at some point have dual jobs and are trying to start something. So I kind of want to know, like, what was the thought behind this particular company? And for those that are watching you or listening, you may still be wondering what the company is. So we can probably just go straight into that. Typically, I like to do that at about 15, 20 minutes in. But what is Shared Table Box? Like, what is it?
Share Tables Box is all the ingredients needed to make a traditional Cajun recipe, along with a Cajun Zydeco playlist, music playlist. Our goal is to share the Cajun experience. You know, we have so much to offer here in Lafayette and the Acadiana area. So now we just want to kind of bottle that up or box it up and share that with the nation. So that's kind of our overhead thought process. But it's just sharing our local traditions with the nation.
Okay.
Yeah, everything around here surrounds food. No matter what we do, it all involves food.
Everything.
So, you know, we were just sitting around like, man, no one sits around that table and has conversations anymore. So we were like, we need to get these people back at this table, cook a meal, have those conversations, you know, and invite people, you know, just like we do here. They need to do it all over the nation.
So, and I love that. So before this business was conceptualized and you thought of it and got it going, like, how long have you guys been thinking about starting a business for yourselves like this? And like, there had to be several moments in the past, 2 to 3, 4 years that kind of like percolated. And I'm not trying to tell a story for you guys. What was the process like before this fully came through? Like, did you have thoughts of like trying to create something? Like, I want to get in deep.
Well, I think that when we were in Colorado, when Rona first hit, we met that couple from Illinois, and we sat around the fire, drank a couple beers, and all they wanted to know is how to cook Cajun food. And that kind of sparked the conversation between Simone and I of, man, these people, they can't get roux. They can't get sausage,
And they don't know what to buy. Even if they did have access to it, they were just unsure which one's the best, which recipe.
Yeah.
And what's really authentic. So.
When we got home from the trip, we're like, we got their address, and we said we need to send them some stuff from here. So we sent them just a little gift basket, just thanking them to meet them and all this stuff. And I guess that's where it kind of stirred up the pot,
Yeah, literally stirring up the pot there. Okay, so about what year was this?
2020.
2020. Okay, so before Corona.
Yeah, like right before.
Right. You mentioned Rona. I was like, wait, what is Corona?
Yeah, because I think in Colorado we had to have masks, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
At that time.
All right, so this was a little over 5 years ago.
Right.
Yes.
And so it really just started with the thought of like, oh, these people, these poor Northerners in Colorado have no access to seasoning.
Yeah, they're starving to death,
Obviously, there's good food all around the world, but we like to say that we have the best food. I remember back whenever I was a lot younger. I just turned 39 yesterday, and I was probably 14. I was talking with a girl from Oklahoma, and I was telling her about Cajun food and this and that. And the part of Oklahoma where she was from was very Indian-based, or Native American-based, rather. And so she was telling me about her culture and all that, and I was telling her about what we have. And so I took upon myself as a little 14-year-old boy to say, Mom, I want to send this girl some Jack Miller's barbecue sauce. Why Jack Miller's? I think it's because I liked Jack Miller's a lot.
Right, good.
And I still do. It's made in Ville Platte, which I love. Also, I think Pig Stand is made in Ville Platte as well.
Correct.
So I sent her that jar And when she got it, she didn't like it. I was like, oh, but guess who did? Her dad.
Well, that's all that
Her
counts.
dad loved it. She didn't like that it was onion based. It had it has a strong onion base in it. But yeah, so very similar thing. But obviously, I was so young and never in a million years would I have thought, oh, I probably should create a company because I was 14. I was not thinking of anything like that. So going back to you guys being in Colorado and basically sending friends Cajun-based products. Did you guys, after that trip, think to yourselves, this is a business? Or did you just, at that time, just feel like you did something nice?
I think there's a few things. I think, yeah, definitely, because we send a lot of packages to people that we meet just over the years. I think it's just, again, something we do.
Yeah, and I've always traveled with seasoning to give away to people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's helped us along the way get better rooms.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
It's like a little tip. Like, hey, I know your food's not very seasoned here, so check this out.
Yeah, and a lot of places like Belize and stuff, they like that. They like the southern food. They like the southern seasoning. So they would rather that than a monetary tip.
All right. Yeah.
You know,
something a little bit more culturally significant than
Exactly.
just $1.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like when the idea came about in 2020, when we sent that package, we're like, okay, this is kind of neat, you know. And it kind of, we talked about it a little bit, and then the next year, where Shared Tables is now, a house became available right next door to our house, and it's commercial residential. So it's like, okay, that was a sign. So we bought the house. And we're like, okay, now we need to justify this house now. So that's when it really came together. We're like, okay, this could be something. And then we wanted it to be more than a meal kit. We really wanted the experience. Like Jeremy said, to bring everybody around the table. So it's like, what does that look like? How can we formulate that perfect little box? And it's still growing. We're still adding things as we go. We're going to add some Boo-Ray cards, a little game of Boo-Ray or Cadillac in the box to expand on the experience as people are cooking, because, you know, gumbo takes a while to cook. So as they're cooking their gumbo and have their music playing, they have something to do. And we have a coloring book for the kids. So it's just coming together. We're going to start getting some colors and getting some things made this year. But it just happened really naturally. Like, it was just really neat. And then as we go, it would just meeting different people and just pivoting as the day goes on.
Yeah, there's nothing better than putting a smile on someone's face, and food's probably the easiest thing to do, you know, if it's good food, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, all our ingredients are local. You know, our meat markets are local. Seasoning guys are local, you know, vegetables are local. So all you got to do is put it down, you know, put it in there.
Yeah.
Stir it up.
So you may have mentioned the year, but what year did you guys formulate the company?
It was 21, but we really kind of dug our heels in last year. In 24 is when we were like, okay, there's a lot to starting a business.
Yeah,
you know, there's a
definitely.
lot more than we anticipated. You know, and through customer discovery, and there's just so many little elements to this business. So it's like, great, start a business, label it, get a name for it, get a logo for it, and then real life happens. You know,
Yeah.
and then you have to make the sales and really figure things out. So it's been a relatively slow progression, but it's been good. It's been consistent and.
Yeah, FDA, EPA. There's a lot of hidden things that people don't know. You know.
Yeah. A lot of stuff that you had to figure out, I'm sure. So you started in 2021. Okay. Or formulated it. And
Yes.
when did you guys first ship out your first box?
Was it in 22?
That's a good question.
It was in
I don't
22.
remember.
Okay.
We should have took a picture of it, like the first box.
Yeah, so 2022. Oh yeah, so 2021 you started it. 2022 first box. I wanna dive a little bit deeper into the company. We do have to get my next sponsor in, and that is the Music Academy of Acadiana. They are Acadiana's top choice for music lessons. I pretty much know this script by heart at this point, but they are a top music school in Lafayette, founded by Tim Benson, who is a music school, UL Lafayette Music School graduate. He's also in a emo, screamo, whatever you want to call it, alternative rock cover band called The Criers. Naturally, because he owns a music school that the role fits. They have about 500 students or so each month, probably more, because that number was from a couple of years ago. And they've been a sponsor since before COVID. And they are nationally recognized. They teach students from all ages and styles. So if you want to learn drums, guitar, voice, if you want to learn audio production, any string instrument, they have that there. And if you're an experienced musician, you can learn something new. Or if you're just straight up beginner and have no clue how to even take a drumstick and hit something with it, they can teach you that there. So check them out. Their website is musicacademyacadiana.com, and we really appreciate their sponsorship. All right. So going back now to the start of this company, how did you guys come up with the name of the company? Like, was it just an easy name, or like, did you have to Google a lot? Did you have to use name generators? Like, what were your processes there?
I just wrote, I think, 100 names down on a piece of paper, and I just sat there. Oh, probably months. That's probably what started. You get your LLC initially in 21, then you get a name, and then it just takes a while to get all the ducks in a row. But it was just playing with different names, and we wanted it to be something with a Cajun connection, but the most important thing was getting people back around that table, like sharing your table, because all of our meals feed at least 8 people.
Okay.
So it's made to invite and talk and stay a while.
Yeah.
So it was just a piece of paper, but it took me some time.
And maybe a little help from the kids.
Yes. Yes, they've been very helpful.
So if you can recall, what were some of the top names that you were choosing from?
I did like Cajun Table till I realized that we had a Cajun Table.
A literal restaurant.
Yes,
right.
yes. I know Pirogue something.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to remember. Like,
I know Pirogue
there's so
came
many
up
things.
Just something on the lighter end, just thinking like Pirogue.
Yeah.
I don't remember none of them. I'm going to be honest. I don't.
It was fast for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was like, well, she just writing it down, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And then finally we're like, that's cool, And the Cajun Connection just came in.
Our little tagline on this shared tables, a Cajun Connection, was kind of how we coined it.
Yeah. It took a little while, but I don't think we had like 100 names to pick from. I think it was like the first 20, and it was like, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. No, that's typically how the process goes. You have, a handful of names, and you kind of beat yourself up over each one. You're like, okay, I really like this one. I wish I could take this one and merge it with this one, but it doesn't make sense. And then you go back, well, I like this one, and you tweak it, I'm sure, a little bit. So ultimately, you guys ended up on shared tables box.
Correct.
Yeah. Because of the whole idea of sharing a table, being around the table, because like you had mentioned earlier, being around the table is few and far between, like as far as dinners go. A lot of people eat dinner separately.
Right.
There was a whole trend for a while when watching TV was super popular. Everybody would just get on the couch or get in their recliner and eat in there.
Right.
Some people still do. I mean, my wife, we did that for the longest time. We had little tables just like what I have here, and we'd go to the couch, and that was before we have a kid. And then when we had a kid, we slowly started migrating to the table because we wanted to have that family,
correct,
that family
bonding,
time,
that bonding, just like at Momo's house, you want to
Yeah,
sit back
yeah.
and how was your day, things like that. Everyone should eat at the table every day.
Yeah. I think every day, I think
stretch.
that's a goal. That's a goal.
Yeah, I mean, no matter if it's just for breakfast or lunch or whatever, just something, especially on Sunday, you cook a big meal.
Oh, yeah, definitely Sunday. I really like going to our family's houses, whether that be my side or my wife's side, and it's usually whenever people hear cook, it's something with the roux, almost always. And I'm like, I love it, but sometimes I just want something a little bit different, like. Give me, I don't know, like a roast. Give me this, give me that.
Right.
And but Cajun people, man, they love making a roux. It's therapeutic, and so they
It
do
feeds
that
a lot too.
and it feeds a lot. It's very, I mean, a gumbo, depending on if you have the chicken already, if you go buy the chicken, you get, if you do thighs. Now, if you do chicken breast or whatever, you're doing on the bougier side of the gumbo.
Right.
I'm a chicken breast guy, so I have to make the bougie gumbo because I don't mind eating thigh, but I aim for the white meat. But yeah, you have to do what you got to do, and so it worked out. So on that line, with the selection that you guys have, what can people expect to get? Like, do you have, how's your product work? Like, how's your pricing work? Is it a tiered model? Do they go on your website and select a certain box? Do you surprise people with a different box each time? Is it a subscription? Like, give me the nuts and bolts of like how the company works.
Yes, the customer would go on and select which recipe they would like. We don't have a subscription service yet. Still unsure if there's a desire for that. So just like, does somebody want something new each month or every few weeks or whatever it may be? So currently, it's just set up for a selection and that's it.
That selection may be gumbo, crawfish pie. Future would be jambalaya. We years ago when we was in Belize, we learned how to make ceviche, so we kind of put our own little spin on it. So we offer that, a shrimp ceviche for like an appetizer type deal. The boudin dip that we created with the cream cheese and Nani's pepper jelly, that normally comes with a gumbo order, or till you have a little snack while you're cooking.
Okay.
So yeah, click, order, deliver. Everything you need's in that box. Except obviously pots and pans, but
Right. Yeah, you guys are not getting into the utensil
not
business.
yet, not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So before we get into what's all in the box and how the box looks, because I want to show that for people that are watching. If you're listening, you can watch on YouTube and Facebook and Spotify if you want to be able to get a visual. But I'll try my best to walk and talk at the same time and show or kind of describe. But God, I had a question in my mind, but I got distracted with what's in the box. Mm-hmm. So when people go on, they select just kind of any kind of recipe they want. How many recipes do you have currently on the website?
5.
5. So gumbo, obviously.
Gumbo, the boudin dip, Cajun ceviche, crawfish pie.
Jambalaya.
Well, the jambalaya is inactive currently, but we will put that one up in the next few weeks.
Okay, got it. That jogged my memory. Have you guys partnered with any food-based companies locally? I mean, obviously they're all local ingredients and products in there, but have you guys made connections with those companies? So, for example, if it's Best Stop or if it's Guidry's,
Correct.
seasoning blend, like, have you guys reached out to those people, or are you just buying the products retail and
we've reached out to all of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
we all know what we're doing and
So have you guys made partnerships with anybody, or is that still in talks?
Well, we buy all our products. We're pretty, adamant of buying from the same people.
Yeah.
So Best Stop supplies most of our meat. Bellard's Poultry supplies all our chicken. We kind of playing with the seasonings, trying to find a good one.
The right
if we don't
one.
start making our own soon, hopefully. The boudin, Best Stop, Kevin Guidry's Produce, So we teamed up with Nani's pepper jelly, Parish rice, Carrie's roux. So we kind of went to all of them and just like, hey, dude, this is what we're doing. Can we buy your product wholesale, and will you allow us to resell it?
Yeah, I love that you said Carrie's roux. Jarred roux is such a interesting thing in Cajun culture. Some people swear by it, and some people are like, you got to make your own.
Right.
And if you do like jarred roux, you have your people that are Savoie fans, and you have your people that are Carrie fans,
Yeah.
and then you have your other brands kind of mixed in to the bunch. I am a Carrie's roux guy.
I am too, and I like to make my own roux. But if I send a box to someone and expect them to make their own roux and mess it up, then it's like this is a lot easier. I think they're the best roux on the market. So we went with those.
Okay, so what is your opinion on roux then? Like, what makes Carrie's better?
Personally, I think just rich. It's like creamy. It smells good. It makes your whole house smell good. Really. and then I like the fact that how small they are.
Yeah.
And how like attentive they are to you, no matter how big of a company you are. They're just really nice people, and and that goes a long way for me.
Are they the same people that made pig stand barbecue sauce?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
I do believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's like you said, it's a very small organization or business, and the stuff that they produce is immaculate. It's
the
good.
coolest thing to see their little roux factory. It's so cool.
I have not seen a roux
You should
factory.
go.
I'd want to go check. I've been to Acadian Kitchens in North Lafayette. They make Raging Cajun products. So they have their own roux. They do all their own seasonings there. So I've toured that facility, and man, let me tell you, being around some of the machinery, this big old vats of just tossed seasoning blends. Like they have all these bags of seasoning and they mix it. And I was making a video for them, and they turned on the seasoning machine. And they said, "Oh, you might want to like cover your nose or something, because once it starts stirring, you're gonna start sneezing." Let me tell you, I had to get away from the vat because it was like it just permeated the air. I was like, "Good Lord!" But I loved watching it mix. So yeah, I'd love to see the Carrie's facility, and I'd love to see Steen's syrup too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I always liked that syrup. A lot of people grew up with that same syrup.
Yeah, my dad swore by it when I was little, and he still does. But I thought it was like the old man syrup, and I didn't want it. I wanted Angel Mama. I wanted, those.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't want no syrup in a can.
Yeah, I didn't want the can, and now they have the glass bottle. So I don't know if I'm getting older, if that's what it is, but I have a jar of, Steen syrup in my pantry.
That's our next little endeavor. Try to adding in some desserts, and definitely putting Steen's into something.
We've been
What are you
taste
offering?
testing a lot of desserts.
Oh yeah, clearly. Look,
Yeah.
I got a little what they call a Ponson Bill Platt.
Yeah. Simply
Yeah.
Caramelicious is a real good one. We've been talking to her. It's
Oh
really-
yeah,
that's
she
really
makes
good.
the pralines. Yeah, she goes to all the stores. Yeah, and she's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're watching and you want to know what's in the freaking box, we're gonna get into that. You mentioned music. Do you have music in the box?
It's a QR code.
Okay.
It's a QR code.
I was about to
They
say, you're not
just-
putting CDs up in there.
Right.
No, they just scan the QR code, and it takes them right to the music.
Oh, nice. So, like, you curate a playlist.
I do.
Correct.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you got, Kevin Nakan, you got, which the dude you like?
Cedric Watson.
Cedric Watson.
It varies. It's 3.5 hours of
Yeah,
various
there's so
Cajun and
many
Zydeco
people.
music.
All right. You got a little, Kevin Casanova, man. What's his name? Keith Frank? I think it's
Oh,
Kevin.
nice.
Keith Frank.
A lot of
Yes.
Keith Frank.
I wanted to
in
say
there.
Kevin. Yes, Keith
A
Frank.
lot of Keith Frank. You gotta have Keith Frank.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even my heavy metal playlist plays Keith Frank.
what? Dude, that's an interesting. A lot of people's playlists are. Some people call it bipolar. You'll have your playlist set, and then all of a sudden, this random song, you're like, "What? How did that get in there?"
Right.
Okay, so you got music, and you mentioned coloring books.
Yes.
What else can people expect? So, like, obviously, you have the recipes, and you mentioned vegetables. You mentioned local meats. So, in the box, when somebody opens it, and we have a box right here on the floor to demonstrate. I can angle the camera down if we need to. I guess we can go ahead and do that right now. All right. So I'm gonna zoom in there. Okay. So that is the. Okay. So what are we looking at right here? This is the recipe.
That is, yes, the envelope with the QR code and a little message from us.
Okay.
And then the recipe card is on the inside, has a step-by-step,
Yeah.
The steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Step-by-step guide.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's almost foolproof. We went through this recipe, I don't know, 1,000 times. We probably cooked it, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But just making sure, because we have send boxes where people would just throw the whole link in the box. I mean, in the gumbo, they wouldn't cut it or nothing.
Yeah.
So like we got to be very, very
Detailed.
detailed on how to do it.
Look, yeah, you got to think about all the little things that you don't think about when you're cooking because you're just in the groove of it.
Yes.
There's a lot of steps that people. So I'm gonna just kind of casually read off a couple of the steps. So there's 6 total slides. I'm gonna see if I can switch my camera to show you. So let me see if I can zoom in here. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm zooming in a lot. So I don't know if you can see, there's 6 total slides. And the first step to make a chicken and sausage gumbo is mix root and water. I'm not going to read everything because not going to do that. And then saute your ingredients. So you have all the ingredients in the box like onion, celery, green bell pepper. Do you have garlic in there too, or
no garlic?
You left the Pope out?
Well, it's one of those things where it's hard to find local garlic.
Okay, got it. So
I would just use their own if they want.
Got it. Okay, and then so step 3, add ingredients to the roux, which that's what I do. All rhymes intended. Add chicken bouillon. Okay, I have not added chicken bouillon, but that sounds like something I need to try.
It's flavored water, anything's better than just plain water.
Yeah. So my wife and I, whenever we cook gumbo, we use chicken stock. We'll buy chicken stock, and the majority of the liquid is chicken stock, and then we add a couple of cups of water to kind of balance it out.
Right.
And then at the very end, this is a Cajun. I don't know if y'all know who Cajun Ninja is.
Mm-hmm, I do.
Okay. So I make his version of gumbo. I use rotisserie chicken. And then there's a lot of steps. I'm not going to bore any of you guys about the steps, but I basically debone the chicken, put the remains of the chicken and the juices left in the stock, and I boil that while I'm doing all the other mixing. And so, but yeah, the bouillon, man, I'm gonna have to give that a try.
Yeah, the better than bouillon is what we use, and it's real good. It's real flavorful.
Yeah, and it's not a cube. It's like a little
paste,
jar of little paste. Yes. And then so after you add your chicken bouillon, add your chicken, obviously, and you have your add ingredients to the roux. You add your sausage at that point, and then step 6 is enjoy it. Yeah, and you got nice pictures of how it's supposed to look. Yeah, so if you get a box, this is what you're going to see. When cooking a roux, I don't know how detailed you got in here. I see you have a few times where you mentioned like certain amount of minutes, and as far as mixing the roux, you use a jar roux. Okay, so you don't really have to cook that because if you cook it any longer, you're going to burn it. But like, what is your opinion on how dark a roux should be? Should it be almost not black because that's burnt, but like what color of chocolate are you looking for?
I would say a little darker than the Bayou Teche.
All right. I love the reference of a body of water. Okay.
Like I like a dark roux, and I like a thick roux. So obviously, this is the easiest recipe that we can come up with for someone to make a gumbo that's not seasoned.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're seasoned, so we're gonna put okra. We're gonna make our own roux. We're gonna do make our own broth and everything like that. But this is the easiest recipe we can make for anyone to be able to do it without problems.
Yeah. I love that. And so you have what you'll need. You have a 2-gallon stock pot, saucepan, mixing spoons, ladle. All right, man. This is really nicely designed. I like that. I do graphic design as well. Not my full-time job. This is my full-time job, believe it or not. But very well designed cards, and this envelope, this little package here, like just very well done. I love it.
Thank you. Huge shout out to Teamworks.
Yeah, they're amazing over there.
Okay. I know someone from Teamworks. Is his name Brian?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Shout out
Brian
to
and
Brian.
Camille.
He's a huge follower.
Awesome.
He's
Yeah,
always
sweet.
commenting. And
Yeah, that's some good people over there.
he comments some of the most bizarre stuff sometimes, Mr. Brian, but great work on this. Okay. So what else is in the box? You got this. I don't mean to keep making you get up. Okay.
all good.
All right. So this is the coloring book?
That's the coloring book. The
Dude.
state shared a box of coloring books with us, so we're including them in all boxes. I'd like to have some type of check box. That way, are kids going to be involved in your experience or
Yeah.
not? That way, we're not just including them for whoever, but right now we put them in all boxes, and it's nice. It's a full activity book to learn about the state.
Very nice. So I want to talk a little bit more about that when the process of ordering. So when people select a recipe, they pick their recipe, and then obviously they have a few check boxes like, do you have kids? Do you have what other parameters are you asking people? Like, what does the process look like to order?
As it's pretty basic. It is select your recipe and check out.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not a very,
it's not
a
real
very-
complex.
Yeah.
So what does the pricing structure look like? So this box is pretty substantial. I see a lot of packaging. It's got temperature sensitive on the box. So obviously you have, you mentioned dry ice before the episode started. You have all that in there. So what could people expect to pay? Obviously these are ingredients that they're not going to get
Right.
at their local store, depending on their local store carries any Cajun products at all. And if they do, there are probably very few. So everything in here is local to Louisiana. So obviously you got to expect to pay a premium to get this product to their door. But what can somebody expect to pay?
For the gumbo box, this box is $130.
Okay. All right. And so that comes with
Yeah, I'll open it up for you.
the coloring box. Yeah, let me switch the screen here. There you go.
So obviously, well, you can tell them about the screen cell stuff.
Oh, I did a lot of research on the liner. The liner is actually made of corn, so it's biodegradable. You can compost it or pretty much rinse it down the drain.
Can you eat it?
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, so the reason why I say that, back in early high school, I didn't take part in this, but a bunch of guys in my class thought, oh, these packing peanuts are corn-based. And I'm like, oh, really? And they started eating it. I'm like,
Really?
I said, guys, that's plastic. And they're like, no, it's like Cheetos. I'm like, no. Like, why are you eating that? And sure enough, they're just crunching on packing peanuts, and apparently it's corn-based, but I was like, oh, my God.
Are those
And
guys still around?
there, some of them are, yeah. I haven't done enough checking on them, but they seemed okay. But I was so worried for their safety. I was like, this is odd.
Yeah, that's not good.
And like, it's not sanitary because it's been mixed with other things and boxes
right.
and whatnot. So they're just, munching on it. Some of them are pink, some of them are white. And I'm like, this ain't right.
No.
Okay, yeah. So let's get into the
All right,
box.
so I don't know if it's easier for you to open it or.
Look, I got the camera on you, so
Okay,
yeah,
so-
you don't have to stretch too far.
If I can get it open.
And I'll zoom in for you there. Let's see.
All right, so obviously you got this little wrap thing is your green onions and celery. And
Okay.
you got your pepper, onion, carrots, roux. Right now we're using a Slap That Local Dude seasoning. Better than bouillon. It's real good stuff. Parish rice. They always been good to us. And supreme too sometimes. That's the little box. That's all your little stuff you need to get going.
Yeah, are you able to hold it up to the camera a little
Let's
bit?
see. Like,
I know it's a little awkward with the mic there.
there we go.
There you go. Look, point it to that one right there.
That one?
Yeah. There you go. So you can see what's in the box there. And it's nicely packaged. It all fits very well. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, the box that it is shipped in, very, very well packaged with a ton of material to make sure it stays nice and cold.
Yeah, and everything's
Frozen.
Everything's frozen when you get it. So we have the Best Stop sausage, Best Stop tasso, and then we got 3 pounds of boneless, skinless thighs that are seasoned.
Oh man, it's already seasoned.
Yeah, it's ready
That's
to go.
worth the payment right there.
Yeah, ready to go.
Love that. All right. So yeah, this is a very well thought out box. So now that we got what's in the box, we also got some stuff there, and we'll nibble in just a second. But how many, since you guys have been running around since 2021, first box shipped out in 2022, what has acquiring customers looked like for you guys? Has that been a challenge? And how many customers have you delivered to since starting?
It has been a challenge because we see our market being outside of South Louisiana.
Yeah.
Folks here can go to the grocery store and buy these items, but people in Seattle and elsewhere, can't. And again, they don't really know what to buy whenever they do maybe have access to it. So the boxes, we're just trying to get out of Louisiana. So that's been our biggest challenge, of trying to figure out
No doubt.
how to do that. And we're not very savvy on social media, so we're learning as we go to get out there a little bit more. But it's just trying to find those avenues of
Yeah.
Yeah, and in Louisiana, everything's about your resources. Like who do you know? How do you, who can help you get your name out? So, Simone talked to like UL alumni, to people that moved away. Also, sometimes corporate gifts, from someone down here might want to send a corporate gift to someone in New York or Dakotas or Carolinas. you know.
Hey, 'cause-
Go ahead.
we shipped a box to Seattle, and that was probably the best story. They've never heard Cajun Zydeco music. They've never had gumbo. They've never had seasoned, like we have it here. And they had so much fun with the box. The kids were around. It was the grandma, the grandpa, 3 kids. I mean, it was just, and it fed everybody. There was like 15 of them. Everybody was able to eat, and they had just a good experience, and it was something they've never experienced before. It was a whole new thing to them. So it's the good stories like that.
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
Yes.
That's the whole point of why you created this, is to be able to share a good meal and a good time around the table. And you guys have really thought out the whole vibe of having the Cajun experience with the music and all that. Like you can't get that with HelloFresh.
Sure. But that's what's taken us so long as well, because our heart and soul goes into this box. It's more than just putting things together. We really want to test it and try it and make sure that it's going to I've always said I want people to smile as soon as they get their box, just get really excited and make it a great time. So that's why we're just
It'll
not
always
procrastinating,
evolve.
just taking a long time.
Yeah. How many? I don't know if you mentioned how many have you shipped out?
20, 30.
That's more than that.
Okay.
But you'd have to almost look at the computer.
Yeah.
I mean, all over, but some, and we have repeat customers as well. A couple in California.
Yeah, we have one doctor that's from here, and if she's going to meet friends in Los Angeles, she will ship a box to Los Angeles. That way, when she gets there, they can cook their gumbo then.
Yeah.
So she's a awesome repeat customer.
Yeah. So you really started grinding pretty good with the business in 2024.
Yes.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, we had some hiccups with the website design and things like that.
Been a major
so we
obstacle.
lost probably 2 of our major months, November and December.
Yeah. All the gifting months. Yeah.
Yeah, from the website being crashed or whatever. But now that's back on, and like I said, it's gonna evolve every week,
Yeah.
every day. Get better and better.
Because I feel like I've been hearing about this business for a good chunk the past month, and I'm thinking to myself, man, that's like it feels like it just came out of nowhere, and so I was like, okay. And then I saw, I think you guys did something with Ashlyn Hanks.
We did.
Yep.
Yes.
How did that do for you guys? I mean, she did the whole walking out, picking it up out of her at her front door, and opening up the box. Like she made a whole video about it. So what was like doing that, and like, did you guys see anything immediately from that, or like, what do you think about that?
We had great feedback from that video. It was great. Ashlyn was great.
More followers.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot more followers. So it's just
Yeah, hopefully soon we'll start shipping some boxes to some of these YouTubers.
yes.
Yeah.
certainly.
Yeah. So
Connections.
obviously, there's a lot of local YouTubers as far as like the Cajun world goes. But the poor people in North Louisiana might be able to use this. Because let me just tell you, after you pass Ville Platte, all of this good food changes to a different type of good food.
Drastically.
Yes, it's a lot more rice and gravy kind of base. It's less roux, and it's all good. It's still good, and they still season their food in North Louisiana for the most part. But I think if you can find influencers just in North Louisiana too that live, like, let's say Shreveport and like that northern I-20 area, and have them do, because I know a couple of influencers in that area that are pretty high up to where to come down to make a drive, they have to really have a reason to come down. And so having some of these ingredients that they may not have even just up there, that might be good to work with. And then their reach might be able to get you into the Texas area, Dallas, and then Arkansas. So just a thought.
Great thought.
Yeah. And then obviously some of the YouTubers, TikTokers, they love to get free stuff.
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah.
especially if it's a influencer that's just getting started and trying to get their bearings, and they're accepting anything as far as payment goes. Because when you're first starting, you're doing a lot of free promotions,
Right.
trying to get your name out there. And let me just tell you, if I was a food TikToker, YouTuber, and I got a box like this, I'd be tickled pink to open it up and to make content out of it. Let me just tell you, because if I wasn't from Louisiana, I'd be like, this is cool, especially with the music and just the design of the packaging. Like, I'm really impressed with that. Again, it's very reminiscent of how well HelloFresh has their designs and packaging. It's on par, probably even better. Like, it feels super local, but still very, very well designed.
That's
I
what
don't know.
took so long,
Yeah, it took her a while to get it right.
I'm quite picky, and
We're all a little picky.
overanalyze.
Yeah.
A little bougie on the side.
it's taken me some time.
Okay, man. Okay, so we are at almost an hour now. That kind of flew by. We've been staring at some boudin, and is that cream cheese and pepper jelly?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. I love cream cheese and pepper jelly, so forgive me if I'm going to go ahead and tap into this before this episode's over with.
Got to
Because
dive in.
yeah, and if you guys, obviously, you brought it, so if you want to grab some. So this boudin, is it Best Stop?
That's Best Stop's Boudin. Yes, correct.
Okay. So just, I got to be careful with the crap.
Look, and here's a little, also if you need.
Okay, yeah, that works. We're just doing the whole Louisiana thing here. Just go ahead and eating. All right.
Should make it all in one.
I don't know if it's weird to eat on a mic, but I'm not trying to do any ASMR. I'm not trying to do that. Unless you guys want it. If you're going to pay for it, sure. All right. I
Yeah.
love Noni's.
Noni's is really good. And they come a long way too as well, and they're just banging it out.
Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm definitely going to have to try to, not on camera, try to finish the most of that. Very good stuff. I appreciate you guys bringing in this little sampler. Obviously, is this something that somebody can expect to get in the box?
Yes.
So what
This
box would this be in?
Well, this is a boudin and cream cheese pepper jelly appetizer. They can order just this or order them together. We're actually working on formulating a box with an appetizer, a meal, and a dessert all in one price point. That way you can nibble on the boudin cream cheese while you're preparing your gumbo, and then you have your dessert. So we're working on a just all-encompassing box.
Yeah, we got to get bigger boxes because now we want to, of course, we want to ship king cakes, and one day maybe we'll ship some good southern wine, with some good beers from the local breweries here. I mean, there's so many of them that have good beer, so hopefully we can get to that level one day,
Yeah. So one of our good friends and followers, Aaron Fago, he says, definitely want to try some of the meal kits. I used to order HelloFresh a while back. Now I'm hungry.
Right.
And he's from here. So if you get a local supporter like that, that means, you guys are doing something good.
Absolutely. And what's fun about this box is I'm not really a chef at heart like he is. He's born and raised, he just has cooked from a young age. I have not. My mom's from Marksville. My dad's from Charlotte, New Brunswick. We didn't cook much growing up. It was a very bland food. So
yeah, she didn't eat nothing when we got married. I'm talking nothing.
This has been a lot of fun. So now I can make a gumbo. I've never made a gumbo before until Shared Tables was born. So that's why the
Wait,
recipe...
so your first gumbo is whenever you started the business?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I've always had his gumbo, but I've never made my own.
You never made your own.
So
Got it.
this is allowing me to cook Cajun food. And then I've born and raised here, but I never, even being here, I didn't know, right, which is the best recipe. What kind of roux am I looking for, So even being here, I still had a little bit of anxiety with the best recipe. So this has introduced me to cooking as well.
Yeah, so when we went through all these recipes, like just narrowing it down, it was like, all right, I cooked it for you 10 times. Now you have to cook it. And if she can cook it from the recipe card, then everyone's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Man. Okay. So you're not alone, Simone, on the first time cooking a gumbo. So let me tell you, I'm born and raised in South Louisiana, just below the line where South Louisiana and North Louisiana start. Like I said, we talked about Turkey Creek. That's kind of where you turn into North Louisiana. And being around a big family that cooked all the time, I never felt like I needed to cook. And also, like you, my palate was pretty basic as a kid. I liked the rice and gravy that I liked as a kid was literally white rice with chicken gravy on top of it. I didn't even want the protein. I just wanted the clear chicken gravy. That's what I wanted. And my mom said, why you don't try something else? I'm like, guys, this is what I like. And if I could go back in time now and slap myself, I would, because eating gumbo today, when I moved to Lafayette, that's whenever I started eating the most gumbo in my life, because everybody cooked it. Everybody's family, that's what they cooked. Whenever they had a lot of people over, that's what they had. And so I started eating it, and then I started finding the flavors that I liked, realizing, okay, this gumbo's a little thin. This gumbo's way too thick.
This one has tomatoes.
Yeah, right. Well, thankfully, because we're in Lafayette area, I have not seen a single tomato in a gumbo.
Right.
Now, if I see it, I'm going to be like, nope. What do they say? Throw it in the long grass?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm not eating anything with tomatoes in it. I mean, come on. That is not right. Let's just call it what it is. And then there's a big debate right now with potato salad. And if you're watching, yes, I'm bringing up potato salad. So some people say that potato salad belongs in the bowl with your gumbo. And some people say it belongs on the side, and you take your spoon and dip it in the gumbo as you eat. Of course, rice is in the gumbo all the time. Like, that's a standard. But there's a debate of, like, do you put it in the bowl and let it kind of be together, or do you leave it on the side? And Obviously, this is not a political podcast, and that can get very political. But where do you guys stand on that?
I think outside.
Outside for you?
Yes.
See, I'm different. Like
I figured you would be. You look like you want it on the inside.
I'll eat it either way.
Yeah.
But I normally put it in my gumbo just so I don't have to dirty another dish.
That
my
seems
whole
to be
thing.
Yeah.
You know?
that seems to be the sentiment.
Yeah.
They don't want to dirty another dish.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, I'm a purist, so I like the potato salad to stay its form, nice and room temperature, because it's usually either room temperature or slightly colder, and the gumbo. I don't want to have like the mayo or the mustard contents of the potato salad leaking into the gumbo to make this concoction. Now, if you eat it fast enough, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Most people in Louisiana don't waste time. But I'm on the side guy, and Aaron that's listening, he's probably gonna be like, oh my god. Wait, actually, he made a comment. He goes, ask them the question, potato salad and gumbo, and that was before I asked you guys. So look, Aaron, I'm already on top of it, buddy. So yeah, and then I don't know if you know who Gerald Grunig is with Caliph Y.
Definitely.
The Kid in the Eats guy.
Yeah.
He was in New Orleans yesterday, and he did a video with Drew Brees. The video is a little. I appreciate the video, Gerald, but the question that was presented to Drew Brees is, do you prefer rice or potato salad in your gumbo? And I was like, that's not the question.
Right.
Rice goes in the gumbo, period. Like either on top, or if you put the rice first and then the gumbo on top. And then the potato salad is the if or situation. But yeah, I think Drew Brees answered correctly for what the question that he was presented with was, and he said rice. And kudos to Drew Brees for mentioning this, because we have a lot of locally sourced rice. And so to keep that industry thriving, he said, we're going to stick with rice. But he said the potato salad's not bad in the gumbo.
Right.
So I hope that helps Aaron. I'm trying my best to.
Well, gumbo is basically just a giant big stir, so you could put almost anything in there, and
except for tomatoes.
Except for tomatoes.
I mean, even the okra. Some people are weird about okra.
Yeah.
You know, I don't put okra in mine because I don't need okra in general. Not even fried okra. I don't. My wife, she might eat fried okra, or she might try it, but. We don't put the okra in, but like bay leaves, I'll put bay leaves in the gumbo. I don't know if anybody else does that, but the Cajun Ninja said you should try it. Yeah. And let me tell you, it adds some depth of flavor in there. Really? It's weird. I know.
To try that.
I know, man. Bay leaves. Who would have thought? But yeah, I know we're just about an hour, and I want to just go ahead and make sure that if there was anything else that you guys wanted to talk about, that we make sure to do that. Feel free to self-promote right now. Whatever you guys want to say, I'm good for it. So you have the floor.
Right on. Yeah.
So start off with what's your website? I'm like, my mind is like going.
Yeah. So our website is sharetablesbox.com.
We ship all over the continent of the U.S. We shipped a box to Hawaii a couple months ago, I think. That was pretty cool.
Not the meat, just
the... Oh, yeah, we can't do the meat to Hawaii. Huh?
Yeah. So
why not the meat?
And it's just these certain laws that they have, like it's almost like you can't travel back from Hawaii with vegetables or fruit. You can't bring them there either,
Oh.
And that's another sticky thing, we don't want to rock the boat there. So we just, until we can get something in clear writing that we can ship it to Hawaii, we just shipped seasonings and just
staples. Like we could ship roux easily. The seasonings, like she said. We sent some City Bar Bloody Mary mix. Things like that. That's fine. Just going for whatever reason to Hawaii, they don't want anything not from Hawaii. I guess you'd say.
Very interesting. All right.
Other than that, man,
I figured it was part of the United States. I figured it'd be fine, but yeah, the islands are different. Yeah. I guess so.
Well, it's just like them transporting seeds.
Yeah.
It's just.
And you don't want to have an invasive species, but
That's
like
the word I was looking for.
maybe the vegetables, being that the vegetables have seeds,
Right.
maybe that's the point. But the meat is interesting. The meats, how?
See, I'd imagine you could do like smoked meats, beef jerky,
Maybe so.
things like that. I'd imagine. And then, because you only got a 2-day opportunity to get it there, no matter where it's at in the United States. And if one of the carriers drop the ball, well, you're going to eat that box and you got to send another one, and which has happened multiple times. We lost the box, so we have to overnight another box to
Let me tell you what happened. That driver was like, "Oh, this looks good. I know what this is. This is going to be good."
Right.
Not to saying that they're doing that. I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past. Because,
Yeah, up north right now with all the snow and everything, and I know it's cold over there.
Yeah.
They probably all need gumbo. Every one of them.
Or crawfish pie.
Yeah, or crawfish pie.
Yeah.
But the gumbo just warms the soul no matter where you're at,
I love it. Man, I really appreciate you guys coming in and bringing this. I don't know if you're going to allow me to snack on this because I can't finish it right away, or unless there might be some to-go boxes in the kitchen that we have over here. But
yeah, we'll definitely hook you up.
Yeah, that's all for you. Belated birthday.
Right
We'll
on.
leave everything with you.
Wait, so
Along
the box
with your shirt.
too?
Oh yes, and your shirt.
Yeah.
They'll all
Oh my
save it
God.
for you.
Oh yeah. Let me show the shirt. Let me show the shirt. Let me flip the camera here.
Yeah, the shirts are so nice.
Okay, he's obviously wearing a shirt, and then I'm gonna hold it up. So this is the front. Yeah, and it's got their logo on it, and it has this nice kind of ombre-ish fade, and then on the back, there's a QR code, and then there's "Sing from Louisiana with love, Cajun experience delivered," and the design has a ton of Cajun based ingredients. So you got your Cajun seasoning, your butter, your cornbread, your fish fry, all your vegetables, everything on there. It's the rice. Literally, it's a really cool shirt. It's a fishing style shirt. You said?
Fishing style, yeah. Our friends at Salty Traditions makes them, and they'll make any shirt for you for any advertisement. It's so nice. And
Salty Traditions. Where are they from?
I think Youngsville, if I'm not mistaken, but somewhere local. They're definitely local. But such some good guys, and they're in a lot of stores. You can buy the different, what you call it?
And crabs.
Yeah, they have a boudin shirt. They sell draws.
Okay.
Boxers.
Yeah. They I think they got socks, nice button up shirts, but all nice material, cool material.
Yeah, it's like a dry
patterns.
fit. Yeah.
Yeah, nice patterns.
I love it. Oh, I saw the camera like zoomed in on me. Sorry about that. You got a nice, good shot of my gut here. Well, this has been great. I'm definitely excited to nibble on that some more, and I will definitely be making that's the gumbo recipe.
Correct.
Yes. So, oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm excited. I'm gonna try my best to film it and do something with it.
Right.
And post it, and I'll share this. Obviously, this video is going on Facebook and YouTube. And
we brought some rack cards for you.
Yeah, I'll share this and try to see if I can help you get a little reach. We have a strong following in Houston and Dallas area. So, I mean, anytime we post anything, those two cities light up on the little analytics that we have. So I think that'll be good for you because there's a lot of transplants from Houston and Dallas. Either they've lived here once and they moved back, or they're maybe they're looking to come to live this area, so they're like scouting the news. But yeah, I'm gonna do what I can within my ability to share the reach and
definitely appreciate the stuff you do for the local community as far as getting them on featuring them even if they're little, just to kind of help them get their name out there as well. That's pretty cool of you.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I have to make revenue somewhere. So there's some of the content is paid for, a lot of it is not paid for. And if you see a new business that's under construction, chances are they didn't pay for that. Right. So that's the whole thing is like we had to find a balance of like, I don't want to charge people for every single piece of content because then I would never have content because not everybody's paying for it. So it's like, yeah, anyway. Obviously, this podcast is provided to you guys for free. So that works because we have sponsors, like I mentioned. And before we go, I'll go ahead and mention them again. Optimize, Generator People, the Music Academy of Acadiana. Really appreciate you. Chase Group Construction. And guys, I love the conversation. I think it's a great business. I hope you guys kill it.
Yeah, us too.
Thank you.
I mean,
And
obviously.
thanks to all of your listeners. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Aaron, he said W shirt. So obviously he just says a great shirt. Ryan Lede says, oh, he's just talking to Aaron. They're having a conversation in the comments. Okay, cool. They want to start their own podcast now. So I'm glad that we inspired you guys. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you guys around, making the rounds, connecting with people, because I think you're on the right track of trying to get into the door, whether that be shipping a box to an influencer or whatever that looks like for you guys. And it's work, but
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be cool though.
I like the message behind the brand and what it means. I love the fact that you got music in the box with the QR code, the coloring books for the kids. It's a very well-rounded, thought out box.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Shared Table box. I'm going to show you the website again. So if you're interested, it is sharedtablesbox.com. You can probably just Google it and you'll probably end up finding it. If not, just screenshot this or hopefully you can Google it and find the name. But their logo is, it has a little bowl of, looks like gumbo in the logo, and it says Shared Tables. So check them out. And with that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And again, I hope to see you doing well in business.
Thank you.
Definitely
Thank you,
appreciate it.
everyone. Greatly
All right.
appreciate it.
Well, that is it, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week as well. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.